We are live, folks. We are live. We are, what's up, Nest Outdoors? Been seeing your stuff pop up on my feed quite often, which is obviously good. We are packing orders today, or right now. We are packing the ever popular wing tube, or the glide bait, glide tube. Got him. Yes, sir. You know one of my favorite sayings. Thank you. Thanks for watching. I appreciate any sort of compliment all the time. And I'm working on another video for you guys. It's probably coming out Sunday. I have a video coming out Wednesday on what rods I use, because it's been a very, very common question, to the point where it's like, all right, I need to make a video about it. So that video is coming out Wednesday, either 8 o'clock, I think, or something like that. Where'd you see him in person? Who had him? I mean, I've sold a metric crap ton of the things, so it makes sense that somebody has to have them. There's the tails all split. Right now I got a Mr. Buddy Heater ripping between my legs here. And I personally only caught a few Lakers on them because I'm more of a swim bait guy than a tube guy. Brian 9 channel. Oh yeah. Can you sing happy birthday to me? No. So I'm considering trying the slow pitch jigging for Lakers this year. You mean like slow jig for them? Like they do, like saltwater style? Is that what you're asking? And I'm trying a new cutting medium. And it's, have you ever caught a boot? No. Never caught a boot. So 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 8 in a pack. 8 in a pack of these little guys. So, for the person who's asking about slow pitching, so with the swing hooks on the jigs, it's a whole different set of rod as well. Oh, like the ones that are like free swinging? I wouldn't do that. Only ever fished New Hampshire. Well, you're missing out, because both Maine and Vermont have better fishing than we do. So fish around. Yeah, so the ones that, so you can use those style jigs. It's basically just like a little Castmaster kind of thing with swing hooks. It's a different method, and you'll get a reaction bite out of a lake trout. They'll like snap at it. I'm not saying I wouldn't do that because I sonar fish, but if you're blind fishing, 100% will work if you're overfished. And let me show you guys exactly what I'm doing. Kind of a janky setup, but I have Here. So you can flip the screen around here. So staring at my nose. See, it's a arbor press with a bunch of blades, and then a hockey puck, which someone just found on Facebook that people were using to cut through as a cutting medium, and they're fairly cheap. All right, so silly comments will get you banned, and those are silly. We'll kick you off. I don't care. I only do the live to keep my, obviously to talk to you guys. Fish the Connecticut River. Love fishing there. Yeah, I fish the Connecticut River quite often. Usually go up that area, well, the northern part of the Connecticut River, once or twice a year, sometimes 3. Thoughts on how far you can actually see down the 34 and 62. So you can see really far down with the LVS 34, which is Live Scope Plus, which is the best there is. Actually, I don't know about new Mega Live 2. So I see my normal 2-inch swim baits down to about 120. That's as far as I can push the LVS 34 in down mode. And then the LVS 62, I was fishing a 2-inch jig, and I could see it down to 170 on Sebago, which is pretty cool. But I've seen Lakers 320 feet away from me on Lake Winnipesaukee in 100 feet of water. So in forward mode, when it's kicked forward, I can see pretty dang far, which is super, super cool. So if you got the extra $3,000 to spend on LVS 62, buy it. Or you can just buy the so I run both, obviously. And then this year I'm going to have one pole with both of them on there, so I can go shallow for Lakers, I can go deep for Lakers. Biggest northern I've caught, 38 inches, that's big. So fish for Lakers in deep water. You don't have to fish for Lakers in deep water. That is a misnomer. Misnomer? Nomer? Nomer? I don't know the correct terminology, actually. But yeah, that is not true. I've caught Lakers in ice fishing in 3 feet of water. I've caught Lakers in the middle of summer in 6 feet of water, not even. They are hanging right on shore in summertime. So it all depends, especially our lake trout, like in New Hampshire, are starving, Marvin, as I would say. And they will be wherever the food is. If the food's up shallow, they'll be up shallow. So wintertime, they can be anywhere in the water column. For most of our lakes, our smelt-laden lakes, which all of them are in New Hampshire except for one. I wouldn't fish anywhere deeper than 100 feet. It's not worth your time. They will be down there. They will be down in 100 feet. The bait won't necessarily be down there repeatedly. So most of the time I fish between 30 and 70 in New Hampshire, and then Champlain I fish as shallow as, we were in 12 feet of water the other day. Which was nice. So we saw my Champlain video back where it all started. So my first or second video of the year basically explained that, like, Lakers can be anywhere. We're cutting the glow in the dark chartreuse 3.5 inch glide tube. Now this thing absolutely darts all around It's kind of crazy. You can find it on my shop, BenditFish.com. And I'm this spring, actually like late, basically starting next month, I'm going to be really pushing the guide business because I want to do some more guide trips this year. I did 15 last year and I got my guide's license late in the year. And I didn't really have time to push the business. So I want to push it more this year, get some more people out jigging for Lakers. I helped some guys set up their boat last year. I helped people that normally troll for Lakers switch over to jigging for Lakers. Helped a few people catch their first Laker last year jigging. And the biggest comment that I got last year was, like, this is way more fun than trolling. So I'm excited. I'm more excited if this flippin' snow didn't come. That would have been nice. We just got probably 8+ inches of snow, and I just spent half the day, spent like 3 hours just getting rid of a potential ice dam on my roof. And it's still not finished. My snow blower is broken. It's got 4 shear pins, and I have 2 of them broken because I ran into my son's shovel today. He's going to know where my shovel is. And then like 2 minutes later, I smashed into it with the snowblower. And then of course Lowe's was out because everybody's doing the same thing. And luckily, good old Ace Hardware had a somewhat similar thing in stock. So we'll have to see if it fits. I'm not hooked to the ice yet. I keep losing. So reeling too fast is not an issue. Hold on, I'm going to decline a phone call here. Reeling too fast is not an issue. The biggest reason why people lose Lakers is the hook is not set. So, and I'll explain this right now. Not that I want to touch these right now, but so I have 4 different gauges of hooks. Actually, 5 different gauges of hooks. So see how those wire, it's called wire gauges are all different sizes, and I have a thinner one than that too. So it takes a substantial amount of oomph to set that hook into a Laker's mouth. Their entire mouth. So imagine, except for the very small part of the lip, right? This part right here, which is like similar size to our lips. Their entire mouth is like the roof of your mouth. Like it's all flippin' bone, which makes it extremely hard to set the hook. And that's why everybody makes fun of me when I set the hook. I mean, it's take a 7-foot rod. Did you see what? Hold on 1 second. Call to comment on your winter post. Oh. Give me 1 second, guys. All right, I'm back. Did you sing the Titanic song? Oh, I'm not hating on trolling. I'm talking myself out of it. I just don't like trolling. But I am gonna troll. I promise you guys, I'm gonna be doing some how-to trolling content this spring because I know not everybody has spot lock, which is the big reason for trolling, because you have to keep moving. So I'm gonna be doing some trolling videos. I'm gonna be trolling some soft plastics, which will be fun. Bridgman in the comments there is a trolling guy. He's also a jigging guy, which which is obviously good to have both. And I've only got a handful of Lakers trolling. And actually, to tell you the truth, my first Laker that I ever hooked, didn't land it, was on a fly rod. Which, if you ask most of the fly fishing community, is just not possible. Hey, John. My name is Josh. Thank you anyways. So for those who are new to the chat, my name is Josh Treadwell. I'm in New Hampshire in the United States. I am a licensed lake trout guide and YouTuber, obviously, in the state of New Hampshire. Not use small water charters. Tie my own flies. Yeah, I love fly fishing too. I like fly fishing. I actually left the fly fishing community. Not the reason I left fly fishing. There's a couple of reasons I left fly fishing. I live in a small state of New Hampshire. If you guys aren't from New Hampshire, there's very few pristine waters, and they're really easy to spot burn. So I'd have to travel, and it's really hard not to get yelled at by the locals for fishing. So I've been yelled at quite a few times. And the demographic that does fly fishing, the only thing I can sell them is flies. Now the lake trout community already has boats, already has a bunch of gear. Like, they just have different demographic, for lack of a better term. Now I'm really hoping that my label printer is not going to give me a hard time today. Last two freaking times I've tried to print something, it's been a 30-minute battle with a $100 printer. So everybody say a little prayer for me real quick, or I'm going to lose my freaking mind. Thermal. Print. Oh, it saw the printer. That's good. Print. Come on, man. Why is this thing such a piece of crap? Why? It's like it doesn't even recognize that it's a printer sometimes. I don't know why it does that, but it's super aggravating. And it just closed the freaking internet. I'm hoping it's not a cold issue. It's a thermal printer, so it should work. It's too cold. Yeah, I'm gonna warm it up. I should unplug it and warm it up. But I've had it work in freaking cold temperatures. Trust me, I wish I was in a heated garage. I could rip heat in here, but you guys won't be able to hear me. And the bad part is I just lost the order, and I have to go back and find it. Trump from Mount Rushmore. Reprint label. Print. Scale. Print. Rolo. Come on, you piece of garbage. Says it's offline. It says it's not offline. Oh, and these are the new freaking parts to my snowblower. That's the original one. I can only find a bolted one. So I gotta figure that out. Yeah, it's I'll tell you the temperature here in 1 second. Give me 1 second. It's currently 27 degrees. Lake Champlain, lake trout pattern. So I was using I'll show you. One of these, which is my 3/8 or quarter ounce jig head with a shiner on the back of it. Because I had live bait with me and I never have live bait. That's what they wanted. So I was fishing with that. If not, just a 2-inch little swim bait. So I was using like little tiny perch swim baits, about 2 to 3 inches. And then live shiners work really, really well. So cancel that one. Yes. Cancel. Yes. Are you actually canceling? Refresh. 0 print jobs. Come on, printer. Yeah, I need a pellet stove in here for sure. I have a big propane heater in here that's 60,000 BTUs, and it's super loud, and that's why I'm not doing this. I can do it live. Champlain targeting Lakers for the most part, or walleyes, but I target Lakers. I think this thing is still printing over the Wi-Fi network, which is the issue. Let's try that. Print. Print. What size hook do you recommend for jigging for Lakers? I use anywhere from 1/0 all the way up to 6/0. So depending on how big your Lakers are. For New Hampshire Lakers, which are 15 to 24 inches, I use 1/0 for the most part. I use a bait around the same size as the forage in that lake. So oh yeah, sure. That's because you were guided, John. You were getting towed out there by other people, which means you were guided. Just saying. Yeah, so for hooks, use a variety of sizes from 1/4 ounce to 2 ounces. I'm going to try the unplug thing. Yeah, small hooks work. I've used size 4. What I use the most is this. This is a 1/0 owner hook, and I've got hundreds and hundreds of Lakers on this thing. And that's 1/4 ounce. I was camping for Lakers and my phone fell down the hole. Oh no. I've been very nervous about. Yeah, go ahead. Ask the question about a jaw jacker. Is it Jawjacker or is it the Snapper, the brand that I use? But I have a video coming out about I have a video about using Jawjackers and Snappers soon. It's the one I'm coming out Sunday, I think. I gotta get back in front of the heater here. I'm restarting both the laptop and the printer. Oh, it's cold. Drill like 3 holes closely. You can get the left. You guys are awful. No, so the Jawjacker, your drag needs to be set properly. And the only way to set your drag properly is to pull the line from the tip of your rod. I have 15 rods right next to me here. It's my second to last trip with Champlain. They're allowed 15 lines. So, Jawjacker rod. This is a Circle Tackles. This is a prototype rod, but the new one will be coming out. Supposed to come out this year, but he ran into some manufacturing issues. So I have a bunch of them, but they're not good. I mean, they're good, but he's not releasing them to the public. So, how to test your drag. This is a 20-pound test, so I'm not worried about breaking it. But you want your drag pretty tight, so when that fish sets the rod off, that hook goes into his face, and then while it's in the holder there, he can run with that. That's pretty tight. I would crank that off 1 or 2 clicks. The chartreuse pin smelt, man, it's one of those things that just flipping works. Just works. Kicking over propane tanks. All right, that's trying to print. I'm back. You ever fish Lake George? A Jawjacker is considered a tip up in New Hampshire. It's considered like it counts as one of your 2 lines, if that makes sense, for lake trout. View message. Would you rather have? Yeah, I want to fish Lake George. I was trying to see if I could make it over there this year. I'm definitely gonna make it over there this summer. What I want to do is a New York tour. I want to hit Lake George, Cayuga, and maybe Ontario. Bam, bam, bam. Lake George, Florida, no, Lake George, New York. Adirondacks, New York. Which would be like a 3-day rip. And then a long flip and drive back. What's the windiest you fished? Ice fished, I fished in like 25 miles an hour. Probably, so Woods and Weeds out there on outdoors in the comments. He's my cousin. I've probably fished 20. I've fished probably 25 on Champlain. I wasn't fishing. I was just trying to make it back alive, but it was blowing probably 25. There's like 8-foot waves. Like you could literally sit out and surf in the opposite direction. And I was in like a 17-foot bass boat trying not to die. All right. You guys stay on for 1 second. I need to do something with my phone, and it's gonna need to. I don't see why you would. The problem with that wind is if you're in a hub style, like those hubs just want to collapse. Like that's just what they want to do. With that wind, I've been in my flip over, which has the steel frame. That's a little safer. Hard sides are a little more safer, like an actual bob house, but still, like I've seen massive ones get blown right over. It's kind of scary. Yeah, I paused the live stream. I'm trying to figure out what's wrong with this effing printer. Is there a Newfound Derby this weekend? It says it's offline. But it's not offline. Yeah, I am torn between hitting Newfound. I don't know what that is. Hitting Newfound or Willoughby or Sebago this upcoming week. I'm guiding on Friday. Guiding the Friday after that, even though they've been moved. Both of those things have been moved. Bad device. Yeah, I did not know there was a derby there. Maybe I don't know if I can fish it. Technically, I can fish it Wednesday. And hopefully get a video up by Friday. That'll get everybody riled up for the derby. Yeah, I've never caught a rainbow out of Newfound. I've never successfully ice fished Newfound. I've been there like 4 or 5 times. That was way before I knew what I was doing. I have fished Merry Meeting for Lakers, open water, and it was actually really good. Surprisingly good. But it took me forever to find them. They were all, like, most of the ones in one spot. So this printer says it's ready. I don't believe it, guys. I don't believe it. Holy flippity flap, it worked. So one of my biggest issues with YouTube is I can't swear. It's not that I can't swear. You can swear on YouTube, but advertisers don't like it. So YouTube recognizes that you're swearing. Even if I put a bleep in, they will cut some of the money down. After all that, I crinkled the label. So in this whole time, 36 minutes, I've only packed one order. Actually, like 45 minutes. Luckily, this is one of my longer orders. I gotta see what's next. So I was just talking to someone about. Oh, he's like, oh, I like to fish new lakes. I don't like to fish new lakes in the wintertime. It's really tough. Good night, John. It's tough bouncing around. It's tough getting set up. We've had like a crazy winter so far. We've had blown wind going 1,000. We had no ice. Then we had blown wind going 1,000. Then everything froze really good. Then we got snow. And then a bunch of more snow. And here we are. I've never fished anywhere in New York for lake trout. But that's going to change this summer. Promise. I'm going to buy a New York license for sure. Gonna buy a New York license. Yeah, so I think Willoughby's out because someone else just posted that it was all slush. But we just got all that snow, which is going to make even more slush. And I want to go up there and do a special video, which I think is... I can do there, or I can do it on... what do you want to call it? Newfound. It's one of the clearer lakes that we have. And right now I'm packing a Winnie kit, which you guys and girls should see in the store right now. And for some reason, sometimes dirt gets on these things. So how much could the snow dog buzz around there without having any issue, or no? Heavy inch of crust, and then fluffy snow, and then 4 inches of slush. Yeah, the snow dog does not like slush. Most things don't like slush. People were complaining about four-wheelers getting stuck in the slush. And the problem with the snow dog is once it's stuck, it is a bear to get out. Now, I am going to bring a winch with me in case I actually need to winch myself out. My last snow dog did not have reverse. This one does, which helps a lot, especially when I get stuck. Yeah, and I don't drink on the ice. I don't know if I've actually ever drank on the ice. No, I have. My New Year's trip, I usually bring, my first couple of New Year's trips, I brought champagne. It's all fancy, you know. But I know a lot of people, yeah, I was supposed to be guiding today. And luckily my guide I was supposed to be going with, who I fished with before, actually, before I became a guide, he's like, did you see the wind? I'm like, yeah, I did see the wind, but I was trying not to think about it too hard, for lack of a better term. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That is the right number. And then this is missing 1. I'm not acknowledging those comments. Yeah, the wind was crazy. Today's one of those days where you just stay home. Like, you know it's gonna suck. Was the bite good at least? I don't know how to pronounce you. Boudreaux. How's it going from England? So create shipping label. So one of the nice things about how I ship things is I ship things through the Shopify store. And I actually get a shipping discount because it's commercial rate shipping since I buy so much. So the shipping is cheaper than you would if I went to the store and bought it myself. Do you think fishing with shiners or jawjacker is no, definitely fish with shiners. So well, you're probably going soon. But on Sunday, I'm going to have a video coming out on how I fish jawjackers and snappers for lake trout. Open all active printers. See, now the printer's trying. It's not doing anything. Yeah, so I run that setup I showed you before with a 2-watt, a size 2 hook. Yeah, the Lakers in. Come on, printer. The Lakers in Winnipesaukee aren't doing well, and I'm actually going to talk with a biologist here in New Hampshire about why they're not doing well, and I'm going to hopefully either get him. I'm going to talk to him soon. I'm going to try to get him to talk live or something like that, or some sort of podcast style format about our Lakers situation, because I have a big stake in it. You know, I guided 15 times last year for lake trout. So my kits are just for Lakers, but I use my smaller baits for pretty much everything. I use them for bass. I use them for crappie, white perch, everything. It was too big and setting off. Yes, so there's a way to fix that if you're using too big a bait. And I'll talk about it here in 1 second. So actually, if you go to my YouTube channel and search how to fish for rainbow trout, it's a very popular video. There's a special trick on how to prevent them from ripping out of the fish's mouth. I'm going to break this printer into a million effing pieces. Oh my freaking goodness gracious. Yeah, they want us to kill, well, like in Maine, Sebago, they want you to kill as many Lakers as you want under 27 inches, which I get. They want to bring the salmon back, which is also fine. But bringing the salmon back is going to take a lot of stocking. So I don't know. There's a giant rip in my my propane hose that I just noticed. Yeah, I bought this printer and it was a refurbished printer. And the only reason I bought it was because it was suggested by the old website that I used to belong to. What did you just even print? Printed the test file that I asked for a while ago. Print. Error. I know there's an error. How do I fix it? Cancel. Yes. So I don't have my I don't have any jaw. I do have a jaw jacker in the house. I could go get it. I was doing something for Circle Tackle. All right, going back to here. I did try plugging in, plugging back in. The next time I unplug it, it's going in the trash. Literally, it's going in the trash. I've had nothing but issues with it. It worked great when I first bought it. And then I had issues with my phone with it. And then I started using my laptop with it. And now the laptop doesn't even work with it. It's absolutely driving me insane. And it's absolutely driving me insane. I mean, I don't have patience for this crap. Japanese reset, yeah. I'm gonna light it on fire in a second. And if I wasn't live with you guys, I'd be buying a new one on Amazon right now. I can tell you that. I'm gonna put you guys up a little higher. Oh, it's super windy here too, like ridiculously windy. And I had to rake my eaves today. Actually, on a ladder, raking my eaves off, so I didn't have any ice dams. And I'd rake off the snow, and the wind would blow it back up right into my face, back on the roof. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Oh my goodness gracious. Last time, guys. If I unplug it again, it's going in the trash. You guys can see it live on YouTube. It's going in the flipping trash. You know what? As that's firing up, let's look for a new one on Amazon. This one's $79. $79. It's got 3,842 4.5 star reviews. That's not bad. That's not bad. I don't need a wireless. I don't need a wire. Well, I'm cleaning the printer buffer. I've restarted it. It's restarting now. I've deleted it off my machine. They might have an issue with being cold since it's 27 degrees in here. I think it stopped flashing. And I have a mesh network in my house. And so I have Wi-Fi out here, Wi-Fi indoors, and then I have Wi-Fi upstairs, so I have coverage. Because I have an old house that has lead paint. I've only packed two orders, and it's been an hour, guys, because of dealing with this effing printer. Gonna lose it. It's letting me add the device. None of us work good in the cold. I agree with that. Was bitching about ice fishing earlier, about this weather earlier today. And it may seem dramatic, but most people don't start ice fishing until like the second week of January. I started ice fishing literally 2 days after Thanksgiving for the last 3 years straight, like driving thousands of miles to find good ice to get good videos. It's really, it's draining by the time February hits. And I really don't go out that much. But when I do go out, it's get multiple videos, it's filming. It's not like I can just go walk out to some, and I go for lake trout. It's not like I can go out to my little back pond. I have a pond right next to my house. I can go catch crappie any time without spending any gas money. But I chose Lake Erie for whatever reason. Hey, it's printing again. Hooray. Hooray, hooray, hooray. It's literally like the printer forgets that it's a printer. Thank you, Nate from Standish, Maine. Done. Let's go on to the next flipping order. That one's done. Unfulfilled. I now have 11 orders open. I actually started packing this one. And while the printer's working, I'm going to print something right now. Watch this. So create shipping label. Buy shipping label. Print shipping label. Go into the next screen. Print shipping label. Print shipping label. Brookies are up there for me too. I mean, I absolutely love Brookies. I've literally thought about what do you guys think of another YouTube channel idea? And now my heater's giving me issues. Oh my goodness. Done. Now the pilot won't stay lit on my Mr. Buddy heater. There we go. Probably because it's so cold. So I had another, yeah, and I had 3 people talk me out of the diesel heater thing, which would have been great because propane is obnoxious to go get and obnoxious to deal with. I have to go down to the local Ace Hardware, get it filled, bring it back, and this thing rips through propane. Like no tomorrow. So it's super freaking frustrating. And I almost bought a diesel heater. And they're quiet compared to this freaking propane heater. Propane heater is obnoxiously loud. And then come summertime, It gets so hot in here, I'm literally no shirt on, a mask, and shorts working. Where I live gets a ton of sun, so it gets really hot in here. Yeah, the funny thing is this: when I bought this house, it came with a pellet stove in here. I don't know if it was broken or not, but I got rid of it. And I thought it was a replacement for the one that was in the house. So maybe it was one in the garage, but it wasn't connected to anything. There's been some circular holes plugged into the side of this garage, like there was a propane heater or something in here. My plan is to move out of this house. Possibly soon. But I don't know if any of you are in the housing market, but the housing market is terrible. Unless you're rich, and that's fine. Yeah, I've heard the fans are loud, and then I have to get 12 volt out here. And I have to get another... I don't know how fuel efficient they are. And I wanted something to, like, rip heat here. And the little propane, like, salamander-style blower heater works great when I use it, but I'm not using it right now. One, to conserve propane, and then two, to keep the noise down in here. Why do these people find this channel and like want to blast it? I don't get it. And the funny thing is I can actually get a discount on a pellet stove, and I have a ton of pellets. And we don't burn that much in our house. We burn it when we're home and chilling on the weekend, but actually we're burning quite a bit now because my wife's home on maternity leave still. Yeah, no message retractor. Don't. Why would you say something like that? Like this is a fishing channel. You want to talk about fishing? Great. If you don't want to talk about fishing, get the hell off. Packing some 3.75 or 4.75 inch glow in the dark pearl swim baits. Super popular. Yeah, I see that. Yeah, problem is I'd have to like insulate up to my attic. And do that. You know what? The printer might just not like the cold. Because it was fine this summer. It's fine when I'm cranking the heat in here. So maybe I'll unplug it tonight and bring it inside and be nice to it. Because it's literally like forgetting that it's working. Like I have to delete it and reinstall it, kind of. This guy ordered pretty much one of everything. Which is great for me, but a pain in the butt to pack. Quarter ounce glow. Yeah, right now I have no insulation. And there is quite a few air gaps that would need to be filled. And I thought about insulating it, and then I'm like, we're not going to be in this house for much longer. And the chemicals I use to make the plastics is kind of nasty, so the more airflow during when I'm working, the better. Actually. Two of those. Quarter-ounce glow. Got to use the winning kit. Loved it. No fish caught. I blame the user, not the product. Even a little. Yeah, dink perch can be obnoxious. What's funny is a lot of places I fish, I don't even see anything besides lakers. It's just the spots that I fish are void of life, if you want to call it that. Besides lake trout or things. I mean, I see smells when I'm fishing, where I'm fishing usually. Got 30 people on. I think most of you guys are local from New Hampshire or not. We had a bunch more people on, but I had to fight with my printer, of course. I'll be right back. I gotta get some baits. All right, you're getting blocked, dude. User from channel. See ya. It's definitely a New Hampshire garage. It was a shed roof garage, and then they added on top of it, and nothing is straight. I mean, absolutely nothing in here is straight. The front's been hit by a car, the back's been hit by a car. Like, I don't know if it was a teen driver or an old lady backing into the garage, but like literally everything's been smashed into in this garage. And when I first moved in, I bought wood to fix it. And I never got around to it. I have fished Dan Hole for Lakers. I have one video from there. And I tried to ice fish it 2 years ago. And it was like it is now, which is just freaking pure slush. But there are some big Lakers in there. Saw them on sonar. And if you go to the little store there, I guess it's the campground store, you'll see pictures of big Lakers on the wall. They're in there for sure. It's one of those lakes I'd love to spend like 2 days on. And camp there, but so I still want my 30-inch New Hampshire Laker. I've gotten close to the 28.5 a couple years ago. I don't trophy fish for Lakers. Stuff takes forever to pack sometimes. 3-inch, and then 3/8 glow, 2 3/8, another 2 3/8. See? Talking to you guys, I'm over counting. Real Life with Mike is Saskatchewan Fisher. 2 other YouTubers both have videos about diesel gears. Yeah, I've seen like probably not 1,000 videos, but they were super popular like before I started. 35. New subscriber. How's it going from Toronto? Where have I fished in New Hampshire that I want to fish? I want to fish Grinnell Pond. Is on my bucket list. And I want to fish. There's a couple other ponds that I want to fish. I'm trying to think at the top of my head. Yeah, Grinnell Pond's on the list. That's like a kayak canoe trip, basically. Lead free. 7 mil tungsten. This guy ordered like freaking one of everything. Thank you very much. I do saltwater fishing occasionally. I used to go striper fishing quite often. What's weird is I'm not known for striper fishing or saltwater fishing, so my saltwater content does not do well. And I didn't have really a good way of making money at it besides selling baits. But that being said, I've used my baits for saltwater fishing and they were great. So back in order here. Alright, I'm done with this one. On to the next one. Yeah, I actually just booked a striped bass trip with Fishnet Charters, Captain Mel True out of, I think we're going out of Cape Cod. I don't actually know where yet. Figure that out when it gets closer. I want to catch an albacore or an albie on the fly. That's a goal of mine, but that's later in the fall. Big bait kit and a Winnie kit. Print shipping label. Print. Hey, printed! Hooray! Tripping on propane tanks. Who else is on? We still got 30 people on, watching and waiting. Appreciate you guys and watching a live. I don't think I've ever watched a live for more than like 10 minutes because I'm always busy doing something. Busy doing something. How much is your My Charter? So I reluctantly charge the same amount as all the other Winnipesaukee guides or the lakes region guides. So I charge, ice fishing is 4 hours, $400 for 2 people, and then an extra 2 people is $50 a person. And then I do summertime. I do 5-hour trips in the boat, and that's $500 up to 2 people. And I don't offer discounts, and I don't offer shorter trips. If that makes any sense. So I did think about offering some different trips this summertime, but it's probably going to be or some giveaway trips. I might give away a charter, like do some like spend $10 on my website and get a drawing. What kind of videos do you do, Buzz? Ice has been great. Yeah, I do ice fishing videos. I mainly focus on lake trout. So I don't know if you guys have ever heard the term, the riches are in the niches. So I was a bass fishing YouTuber for a while. Then I got a chance to quit my day job and travel with my wife around the country. It wasn't like a chance. It was like that's what we decided on. Did that for a while. So that was multi-species, did Alaska and stuff. And then I came back to New Hampshire and I did a little bit of everything. And none of those videos really did well. I did striper fishing, did fly fishing. The only videos that did well for a while were fly fishing, but they never really made me any money. So I stopped doing them, and at the same time I was doing lake trout content, and I was making baits for them, because I had one guy that was showing what baits he was using. I'm like, oh, I can make those, because they basically came out of stock. And so I started making them, and that's what I've been doing ever since. And I had a YouTube consultant tell me, it's like, these videos do well, that type of content does well, you should just do that. He didn't put those two together, I put those two together. I'm out of New Hampshire. It's either this or spend time with the wife. Yeah, so I charge $100 an hour. I know that's steep for a lot of people. This is not the only thing that I do. I actually run a consulting business as well. I actually consult with another company as a partner through NHMEP. So I'm actually a lean manufacturing consultant. I actually go into companies and tell them what they're doing wrong, help them figure out how to fix it. And I'm actually doing that tomorrow. So I'm not full-time YouTube, but technically I probably this year, money-wise, I could. I don't have an OnlyFans, but I thought about it. Yeah, live fly tying would be cool. I know another YouTuber, his whole channel is all fly fishing, and he was doing really well. I haven't talked to him in a couple of years, actually. Oh, he's still alive. Mainly outdoors. I was talking to him for a while. But he's the one that inspired me to kind of quit. Yeah, I was actually tying flies with my son the other day. Normally, when I'm spring tying, like I have one trip in the spring that I always tie for. I usually watch YouTube or I'll watch some other. I'm like, maybe I'll tie this fly. I'll watch a video on how to do it. But for the most part, I watch 3 YouTubers. Watch Clayton Schick, Jay Siemens. On Kind of Angling, if he's ever on, the OG, and that's pretty much it. I can't really stand the other guys. The thing is, I do this for a living for the most part. It's really hard for me to like, I'm gonna go watch somebody on YouTube do exactly what I'm doing. I might be doing it better, and I might have more subscribers, but I watch some other people, and I'm like, how do you have 200,000 subscribers? Usually what it is one video takes off and then they're fine for the rest of the day, rest of their career. Unfortunately, I had a video take off when I first started. I had a video that hit like 500,000 views, and I should have just kept going with what I was doing, but I was just doing it for fun at the time, not business. Yeah, so right now we're filling the big bait kit, which is also super, super popular. I've sold hundreds of these things. And I've had lots of people tell me that I've caught my PB on your kit. I'm like, that's flipping awesome. So I'm going to hold it up here in a second once I get everything settled in there. I gotta put a label on it, of course. So that's the kit. The top is 4.75-inch swim baits, and then 1 ounce, 1 ounce, 3/4 ounce, 1 ounce, 1 ounce, 3/4 ounce, and then the 10 grubs. Grubs I sell a ton of. Appreciate the fact that you don't obnoxiously yell, "What's up, YouTube?" Yeah, I mean, people obviously know they're already on YouTube, so I don't need to remind them. And just a quick funny tip. In my videos now, so back in the day, obnoxious intros was the thing. And that kind of faded out. So I still kind of do those, but I start my video, I start my intro, and I actually cut I cut that section out, just so I start my videos all the same, so I sound all the same. Just started doing that this past summer. Seems to be working. So this person ordered the Winnie kit, so for smaller baits, and the big bait kit. What's the best color? Whatever color the lake trout seem to be eating, for lack of a better term. So I use 3 different colors. I use white. So for the Winnie kit, it's pearl white, chartreuse, and then clear glow. And that clear glow I use for deeper water so they can see it better. That clear glow glows chartreuse. So I basically have 2 chartreuse and then white. I would say either white or chartreuse. I use probably white more often. This was for Nick and Auburn. Thank you. So it took me forever. Probably took me. I found a great glow powder. They ran out of stock. Probably bought 5 other glow powders to get to the one I use now, and this is it. This is 1 kilo of glow powder. It's $180 for 2-point-something pounds. It's very expensive. That's one of the reasons why my baits cost so much. One of the reasons. Not the main reason. I had to get some more baits. Yeah, it took me forever to find the right glow powder, and not all glow powder is created equally. Some of them glow really bright, and they dim very fast. Some of them glow don't glow very long, but they color fade pretty fast. So it took me a while to find one, and you gotta find one that's okay with being at high temperature. So this stuff is cooked or baked, melted if you want to call it that. Why do I keep losing stuff? At 350, 360 degrees, so she gets hot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Trying not to melt my boots here in front of the heater. And so that's the super glow. Super Glow Pince Melt. I shoot them in packs of 10, basically. And these are custom molds to me. You won't find them anywhere else. They were designed around the same profile as a smelt. They have an extra wide tail for better kick. And if I had the ability to turn the lights off and walk back without falling down, I'd show it to you. But my son has one of those little remote control tractors. And I repeatedly told him, he's 5 years old, repeatedly told him, I'm like, hey buddy, it's got plastic tires. They don't work in slush. The only thing that's going to happen is you're just going to get stuck instantly. So I dragged the thing out of the basement on a sled, and it's not light. Onto the road, he got stuck instantly. I'm like, well, you better get it unstuck, otherwise the plow guy's going to run it right over. So he started crying, of course. And so now it's in my garage. Of course. So I ended up losing space anyway. So I have that, and then I have a new thing for my new toy that I'm getting this spring, which I'm super excited about. I was sponsored by Eskimo. I was under a 1-year contract with them in 2022. And then in 2023, I was out of contract with them. And then this year, they completely ghosted me. A little sour about that. Like, literally did not return my phone calls, did not return my emails. Not cool. But I got a bunch of stuff from them for free. Not for free. I owed them videos, of course, like normal. So, and just to be true to you guys, and I don't really talk about it on videos because it's hard to mention it on videos. But I am sponsored by Circle Tackle, so they give me free stuff. So I'm pro staff for. Actually, yeah, I'm sponsored by Eskimo. I mean, sponsored by Circle Tackle. So those are all the rods that I use. I used to be pro staff, if you want to call it that, or on the Eskimo team. So that's free stuff. And they used to be sponsored by Snow Dog. So Snow Dog was free to me, paid for by the second year. Paid content, basically paid for do videos. Circle Tackle has paid for videos, and be blatantly honest with you, those guys. And I love their stuff. There's some, and him and I work on rods together, like the new permafrost rod is this one right here, and we worked on the design. This is my dead stick Laker rod, and we made the butt of the rod too short, so next year it's gonna be longer. And he's more of a panfish guy. So, and then I'm also was sponsored by Eskimo. So I have Eskimo shacks, Eskimo gloves, Eskimo hat, Eskimo gear, and now they sponsor Clayton Schick and Mindak and Jay Siemens and Superior Angling and all of these other way bigger guys than I am. And I think they just went that route for whatever reason. They just went with and they also worked with Joe Holland, and they flew him out to the show out there last year, which is what it is. Yeah, so the clam content is weird. So Clam has a big team. Eskimo team was under 30 people when I joined it. And I think they realized they were either losing market share or something like that, or sales were low because of ice seasons were so low. So they put a lot of money into getting creators set up instead of running ads on Facebook, which is what a lot of companies do, or running normal marketing stuff. So I mean, my setup from Eskimo the first year was just under $5,000 worth of free stuff. Like you can just, I'm just telling you that number, but you can add up. I have the Escape 450. I have the Escape 2400, the Eskimo 450 XD, which is the walk-through door. I have Quick Fish 3. I have the Superior suit, the full get-up. I have the Redneck suit, I think, or the Roughneck suit as well. So I don't wear that. I wear it once and I realized it didn't have knee pads and I haven't worn it yet since. My printer stopped working, by the way. And so Eskimo Artist Dam owns Ion, Eskimo, Gazelle, Jiffy, and a bunch of other brands. So I'm also sponsored by Ion, or was sponsored by Ion. So I have the Ion Alpha, the pistol bit, the Alpha 8-inch, and the 10-inch. I have all their gloves, their sled stuff, extra batteries. Like I have 3 batteries, like $600 in batteries for the Ion. Which is crazy. Printer status is idle. That's good. So I know a couple people on the Clam Pro staff, but they're not making videos. I know a guy in Maine, Tim Moore in New Hampshire. Tim Moore in New Hampshire does some stuff for them. I need a printer sponsor. What I need is like last year when gas prices were outrageous, I'm like, I need a gas sponsor, and then I'd be all set. Or even a truck sponsor. I'm gonna throw this printer in the trash. This is the little piece of shit. I haggled with an extra owner, and he threw in an extra battery. Oh, that was a good deal. Those batteries are freaking $200. I think I have one going bad actually. I have one that keeps shutting my Ion off. I drove for a little bit and then it stopped. Drove for a little bit and stopped. I'm warming up the printer, guys. See if that's the issue. Yeah, I know there's a couple other Clam Pro staff. It just doesn't seem like they've lost their touch, and they have jigs, they have all sorts of stuff. They were late to the game on a couple of things. 338 on time. I feel bad for everybody in Canada. Their stuff is so freaking expensive up there. So expensive. Nilu. Literally warming a printer up, guys. Can't make this stuff up. $24 beers, $55. Oh wow, that's ridiculous. We can get a. Actually, I don't know. I don't know the last time. I can't remember the last time I bought beer. Ever. Probably 4 or 5 years ago, and I don't remember how much that cost. think the printer's gonna behave now. No, it's still going through its freaking cycle of bull crap. I'm gonna step outside for 1 second. I like bringing beer. That's probably true. It is freaking snowing out again. What the heck? So this printer is forgetting that it's a printer or something. I don't know why. Yeah, it's finally stopped being windy for a hot minute. I really can't hear it outside. I just stepped outside, but I have a lot more shoveling to do. I'm not looking forward to that tomorrow. I have client visit in the morning, and then I have editing to do tomorrow. Probably more bait making tomorrow too. I don't know. But the wind was crazy today. Luckily, everything's been way down. Ice fishing in Lake Ontario for Lakers. Finally got enough ice, and I'm making them. If you're so since I've been doing this for lake trout for a good 2 years now, like full time, where people are asking me questions all the time. Are you sure that you're marking lake trout? That's one question. Because if you're not sure, then get an underwater camera to make sure. And they're fairly cheap. $200, $160 for an underwater camera now these days. That's the only way to be sure. I don't think Lakers lake a lot of current, but I know they go in the Niagara River. If they're not eating it at all, real advice, I would downsize. I would go to something like 2 inches, just a little tiny bait. And a big reason for that, I think there's a lot smaller bait in the winter and spring, and then the summer bait just gets bigger as it's feeding throughout the year. So that's what I would do. Downsize, and if they're chasing, and then they are Lakers. Yeah, I would downsize. I would try something really small, like my 2-inch bait that I sell, which so I found a lake surrounded by huge bluffs. One spot goes from 3 feet to pretty quickly. Then goes down to 100 feet, flattens out, then goes down. I would go on that flat right there, that 100-foot flat down to 150. So if it goes straight down and then flattens out and then straight down, I would go on that little flat, especially if you're using 2D sonar. Otherwise, you're going to have a really hard time seeing Lakers come up from the bottom. That's my suggestion. And then for your Lake Ontario, I've never fished on Lake Ontario, but I would downsize. It's an alewife based lake. The alewife lake based lake around here, they were eating stuff like that. They're spitting up big alewife like that big bait. But the only thing they would eat was something that big. Yeah, if you have a Markham flasher, set up on a flat so you have a nice image, and then put the cone angle very shallow, or shallow angle. Cancel print job. This printer's going in the trash. Printer's going in the trash. It's worked for me for the last 2 years, and now it's going in the trash. Deleted error. Where are we fishing? What are we fishing for? This is a lake trout centric channel. Basically just fish for lake trout. Though I will go for crappie and stocked trout occasionally, just because first ice happens on stocked trout lakes. This thing won't even let me remove the printer. Is the Snow Dog a good investment? I would say no. First off, we were talking earlier, and I don't know if you've been on the whole time. I think you have. Snow Dog was free to me. So the Snow Dog was sent to me by Snow Dog. It was delivered to my door, completely running and set up. My first one I bought, that was like $1,800. That one was worth the investment. One of the reasons I have a machine is because I had hernia surgery years ago, 5 years ago, actually, around this time. Yeah, 5 years ago, and I couldn't pull a sled anymore. So if you fish like 2 weekends out of the month, it's way cheaper. If you can buy one used, I would buy one used. I would not buy one new for sure. If I was to go buy one now. I think a better investment would be a better beater sled. About from the boat or hard, both. We're talking about right now. We're talking about ice fishing for the most part, but we can't talk about open water as well. Doesn't matter to me. Yeah, I'm trying to get my computer can see the printer. Problem is it loses it, or it's like dropping off the network or something. And I have a hardwire for it, and I thought that was fixing it, and apparently the hardwire is still not even working. And I can't get this printer to say it's a USB printer because it's not. Now I can't even get the freaking printer to remove itself. And I've had nothing but issues with it since I bought it. Send some of my knuckle hair off. That's smart. Oh my freaking goodness gracious. So Matt from Acton is the order I'm working on. Restart. I'm restarting the computer. I am. I'm restarting the computer right now, as much as I don't want to. Thinking about grabbing my other. No, I'm not smoking. It is 27 degrees in my garage right now where I'm working. not where I want to be right now. Yeah, that sounds cold, man. Trust me, the only reason I'm packing orders now is because I took Friday off, Saturday off, Sunday off, and today was a holiday, so I had kind of today off. Yeah, so I have to make up for 2 days worth of work. All right, restarted the computer. It allowed me to delete the device, which is good. Add device. My truck gave up today. Oh man, that sucks. How's it going? It's 27 degrees in here. It's going okay. I'm packing orders tonight, or I'm trying to, but my label printer that I print the shipping label on is giving me a nightmare. It's just not flipping behaving at all. I'm looking for one that's wired because I just want to plug the effing thing in and have it effing work. I don't want wireless. I don't want fucking dongles. I don't want any of that stuff. Stranded on the ice. I don't know. Yeah, I guess it hit 120 mile an hour winds today on Mount Washington, which is insane. See, this thing is Bluetooth. I don't want Bluetooth. I want something that I can plug into a computer and not have to worry about it. Don't worry. It's a piece of crap. All right, I'm still working on this one label. Print. It says it's ready. Print. And my phone's probably going to die. It's at 15%. And of course, that label didn't print off properly. And I try to print one label off at a time so I don't cross packages, which is my biggest fear. The last, I hung the lights. Don't judge me. I hung them from the previous hang points that the fluorescent lights were hung on, and I hung them up quick because I needed to start this business in my garage. They currently work even though they're crooked. Yeah, you should see the light that's in front of me. This one's hung off a power cable. The other one over there is crooked as all hell. And I'm supposed to be buying a new house this spring somewhere else. Now my buddy heater just freaking broke. Buy shipping label. Print. Two white pearls. One, two, three. Now we're doing the big mamas. So I could fix the lights, but currently they're working. Yeah, my house value has gone up. So I bought mine during the pandemic, stupidly. House value has greatly increased since then. I ship these things to Canada. So shipping to Canada sucks. For you guys, not for me. Shipping to Canada is usually between $20 and $30. I've shipped everywhere in Canada so far. And it takes 1 to 2 to 2.5 weeks. Only eat turtles and apples. That's good. So I ship to Canada. I ship all sorts of hooks and stuff to Canada all the time, except for when you guys are on strike. My plan is to stay in New Hampshire, but after this snowstorm, I have second thoughts. My wife and I have second thoughts. And I was, born and raised in New Hampshire. Which is great, obviously. And my wife doesn't really like the cold. I don't know where we go. But the only reason we're in New Hampshire still is this business, it was crazy this last year, 2024. So I'm hoping to replicate that again this year. So you guys buy more baits. Yeah, I agree with I'll take cold weather for a few months out of the year to prevent. My wife says, "Oh, we could live in Florida." I'm like, they have hurricanes. They have iguanas everywhere. They have alligators everywhere. They have boas everywhere, or pythons everywhere, like literally everywhere. We have one venomous snake, which is almost extinct here in New Hampshire. Yeah, so why is it hard to find tubes in Canada? So can't you, besides ordering from Frostbite, which are in Canada, and Florida, there's no Lakers in Florida. This is also true, which is the reason I'm not down there. We also want to travel and do other things, and we have a new addition to the family. I haven't introduced her to the family, but I've told you guys about her. I have a new daughter. She's 3 months old today. So she is taking up a lot of my time, a lot of my wife's time, obviously more. So she's still on maternity leave. I'd like to move to Upper Michigan. It's hard to find fishing equipment locally because huh, interesting. Yeah, I get people that contact me from Quebec all the time. They're just across the border. And I ship with our postal service, which is more expensive up front. But they have the lowest I don't know the right term, but it's like a tax basically when it gets to you guys. And if I ship UPS, the tax is outrageous. But it gets there in like a week. Like, I could ship something for $30 USD, and it costs them another $30 just to receive it, which is a little ridiculous. Yeah, which doesn't. I mean, you know, you watch the guys like Clayton Chick and stuff like that, and they're very walleye centric, right? And that's what Clayton's known for, right? So yeah, it's definitely funny. I got a package going out to Utah. Some 6-inch glide tubes. Yeah, so the funny thing is our state of New Hampshire, we have one river system that has religiously pike in it, a couple ponds that have pike in them, just randomly, like bucket biologists put them in there. And then we have perch pretty much everywhere, but they're fairly small. And panfish really aren't big on the East Coast. And actually, if you follow Joe Holland, he just did a video about doing tournaments about panfish because the guys out west don't think that we can compete with panfish, but we can. We have some 17-inch hammer crappies over in Maine and New Hampshire. Yeah, I've heard about the replanting the Arctic grayling. I've caught some up in Alaska. They're beautiful. Oh no, my phone's gonna die. Hold on. My phone's gonna die. My screen just got dark. Trying to figure out how to run you guys on an extension cord because I don't have power where you guys are. Give me 1 minute. I'm getting you guys power. There we go. My phone is at 3%. What a cluster. Mend it. We're sending it. Fly fishing in Michigan. Oh, okay. Now I gotta get back to what I was doing. Clutch as well. Sub. Thank you for subbing. Oh, stop it with the lows of crooked lights. You come over here and fix it. You should see the rest of the garage. It's pretty bad. Like literally, I moved in during the pandemic. Like your apartment's being closed on, getting out of there. I had all my stuff out in the yard. I had to pressure wash this whole garage. It was nasty when I moved into it. The floor is asphalt, so the same asphalt as the driveway. So every time it rains, it floods. It's not a great garage, but most businesses start out of people's garages. So I'll take what I can get at this point. Oh, you're not getting the tour. I have so much stuff in here. It'd be fine if I had another storage. I mean, I do. I have a storage. I have a pool house, since we have a pool. That has some stuff in it. But I have a lot of woodworking tools. I used to do a lot of woodworking stuff. I've actually fly fished for Dolly Varden in Alaska. Which was sweet. I've heard of that river lots of times. I knew I clicked on the wrong thing. Print shipping label. Print. Please print. Come on, you flippin' piece of crap. There we go. The problem is my phone stand doesn't like when the cord's plugged in. I've always wanted to fly fish for carp. I know where they are at. I've actually snagged a 7-pound carp by accident. That took me, snagged him in the back fin. I was fishing for crappie. I happened to be in the area. It took me forever to land him. I've caught suckerfish on the fly before all the time. So I drive to South Dakota for pheasant hunting. Any of you guys, states? We stock ringnecks here in New Hampshire. It's a special tag. Yeah, they don't live long. I'd be done packing already if this effing printer would work. Cancel. Yes. Try running on a tractor over your jigs. I thought about that. I've thought about using like a Castmaster style, like something really heavy to get my 1/4 ounce one down faster. The problem is if Lakers are on that something shiny, they'll go and hit that first before they hit the jig, which is annoying. I did run a a camera that's about the size, like twice the size of this, a camera that sits on your line on Lake Champlain. It was black, and the lake trout were trying to eat the camera before the jig, so I guess that was an attractor. There's actually teeth marks on the camera, which was freaking sweet. Add device. Let's try that. Let's see if I can Bluetooth to this printer. I don't think it is Bluetooth compatible. I've already restarted the computer like 3 times and the printer. It's just losing that it's a printer, like losing that it's connected. It'll print back to back, and then the next time you try to print, if it takes too long, it like times out for some reason. I don't know why. Idle. Print test page. PB Laker is 40.5 inches at a Lake Superior. So that's my biggest Laker. Maine is 32 inches. Champlain's 33 and a half. And New Hampshire's 28 and a half inches. I don't weigh my lake trout, if you didn't know. Lake trout, lake trout, lake trout. The riches were in the niches, guys. And I kind of fell into lake trout by accident as a species. So I went with my cousin once when they were up spawning on the fly rod on Champlain. And I've been trying to chase them ever since. I caught one couple through the ice jigging. And then I really got into them when I got a boat again and started jigging them with 2D. And they're just super fun. We're trying to print Hunter. Restart. Yeah, I'm trying to get a 30-inch Laker out of New Hampshire, but I've yet to do it. But I've had I've caught quite a few pike on the fly rod. Super fun. We don't have a lot of pike here, but we have pickerel, chain pickerel here, and there's a river system that I go to. They're just absolutely loaded. You put any sort of white fly on there and just strip it as fast as you can, and they tackle it. Using lighter weight fly rod. My goal this spring is to catch a Laker on topwater. I know it can be done. I know it's going to be hard. And I want someone to film it with a long lens camera to get the eat. That would be sick. One of these days, hopefully this spring. I know Champlain can do it for sure. What would I use? I think I'd try to use a whopper plopper, something that makes a lot of noise the whole time. Or I'm going to use a fly rod and use like a big popping bug kind of thing. Travel southeast 300 miles to find chain pickerel. Huh. Yeah, bass lures. I mean, there's no top water lake trout lure that I know about. Just something that makes noise, really. I've seen them come to the surface on Champlain even during the summertime. So it's I know it's possible, guys. I know it's possible. And Joe Holland and I were supposed to film one this spring, and we just got so sidetracked. We were having so much fun catching Lakers that we just were like, let's just keep catching Lakers the easy way. Yeah, popper with rattle inside. I think that would work. I mean, these fish are like 10 to 13 feet down. 100% doable. I think the conditions have to be right. It's got to be calm as hell, which doesn't happen on Champlain very often. And it has to be overcast, which also doesn't happen. I mean, that happens more often, but I think overcast, otherwise Lakers really won't come to the surface. There is one other lake I think I can do it on that they are religiously fired up there. Like I can get Lakers to rip to the surface on a jig. Yeah, I think the drone would be sweet. I gotta have someone do it for me, or like have my buddy Ryan fish and I do the camera stuff. I got some drone footage of some stripers last year, and Ryan almost took out my freaking camera, my drone. And then I, show him where the drone is in the sky. I'm like, the fish are right underneath the drone. We didn't find the fish with the drone. We found them by sight, and then we flew the drone up to get the cool shot. And then people still complain, like, oh, you're not supposed to find fish with drones. I'm like, that's not how we did it. But yeah, getting a 6 shot of a lake trout eating a fly would be sweet. Now they do it up in Canada. I do crappie fishing. I have a couple ponds and lakes around me that are really good. And I want to do some crappie guiding next fall. If anybody's interested in crappie guiding, where we can go catch a limit in a couple of hours, like tons of crappie, you let me know. We can go put the hammer down on some big crappies. They are big for the plastic, and that's intentional. So these plastics that you're seeing right here were initially designed for a different jig, which I'll show you here in a second, but that jig became obsolete, and then I had to start selling a different jig. Done. Going to the next order. Come on. Give me 1 second, guys. Small bubble nailer. I'm in for that crappie chowder. Yeah, let's do it. We can do it spring. I'm trying to do it in the fall. So our lake trout season closes September 30th. So we can go after that when the crappies are all in one spot. That'd be awesome. So the smelt baits were originally designed around this hook. And this is 0.2 ounces of tungsten. That's 0.25 ounces of bismuth with a way better hook. In order to have a heavier jig, I need to go with a bigger hook. Otherwise, I'd have to have a custom mold made. So that's what this is. And this hook holds the lake trout way better than this little tiny guy. Both catch fish, obviously. This one's screwed up. I can't. You let me in the summer. I'm trying to beat my personal 21 inches would be our state record plus a little bit. Our state record's probably 17 inches, I think. Let me know about the crappie charter. Send me a message. I've been DM me or whatever. I do not pour my own jig heads. I actually have them made by Lead-Free Bass Jigs in Massachusetts. And if you want a discount code, you can hit me up. Get 10% off. So I thought about pouring my own, but I would have no time at all to do anything else. A lot of our lakes have crappie here in New Hampshire. They were all bucket fishermen. And I actually know a couple of people have put them in lakes they shouldn't have, obviously. Yeah, but our state record is just under 3 pounds and 17 inches or so. It just got broken last year, the year before. At a spot that I've tried them in before, and I've never seen crappie so spooky. One white, one chartreuse. No, I already printed that one. All right, done. Yeah, I don't know what I mean, we don't have as many lakes as you guys do. But we have a lot of lakes for sure. I don't know if I have everything to make this guy's order, which is annoying. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I might. I don't know. We're gonna find out. Yeah, I've actually done that. I've actually trolled small crankbaits while using an Aquaview as a downrigger, and it was super cool. No. Yeah, actually, I did a video of where's my spray stuff? Using a 10-car rod for crappie, and it did really well. And I thought about I should have picked crappie, done like a crappie channel, because it would have been way easier than lake trout. And our crappie season's open year round. The biggest part of what I do is our season closes September 30th, so I have November, December, and so October, November, December that I can't fish for lake trout in my own state. I have to go somewhere else. All right, I'm going to print this order, create shipping label. You know how awesome it is to hear that printer actually works? It's fantastic. You guys are making this way more fun than just being out here in the cold by myself, by the way. So thank you for joining. Appreciate it a lot. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Every once in a while, when I get really busy, I'll have a friend come over and help me. And they just do like the simple task items that I can have them do. Tell a fish story. I will tell you my favorite fish story ever. So, it was in Maine. Actually, this is a long, long time ago. This is when I was in high school. So my uncle had a time. My uncle used to be stationed at an Air Force base up in Maine, like way up, in Ellsworth, Maine, like way up there, like 7+ hours from where I live. They had a timeshare up there that they bought, and the week that they had was like the weekend after Memorial Day, where there's still ice and snow up there. So we go all the way up there, and my dad and he's the one that was, my uncle wasn't going with us. It was a different uncle that was going with us. So it's me, my brother, my dad, my other uncle on my dad's side, and like another family friend, like, going to a guy's weekend fish camp. And my grandfather, who's long passed, going up there, and we're like, oh, let's go for trout. And the guy's like, we just had ice out like 2 weeks ago or the week before. Says that the trout fishing doesn't get good up here. Like, they don't stock fish until, later in the year, past Memorial Day, because just the ice is not predictable. We're like, all right, what do we do? It says, oh, you should go rent a boat. Or I think we might have had a boat. And there's a lake up there. The lake is absolutely littered with chain pickerel. We thought they were pike at the time, but Fish and Game says there's no pike in there. So what we were doing is we were casting red daredevils on cheapo rods and fly rods in the shallows in this lake, which it's some Native American name that I can't think of off the top of my head, for pickerel. And we were just catching them all day long. And I was giving my grandfather shit. He was sitting in the bow of this little tin, like probably 14-foot boat. My brother and I are in the back. Giving my grandfather crap. Says, Grandpa, Says you're not. He's dangling his line over the side of the boat, probably this high off the water. Says you're not going to catch anything unless your lure's in the water. Says, oh yeah, I don't care. I'm just having a fun time. Literally 3 minutes later, a pickerel comes out of the water, bites his red daredevil while it's dangling above the water, and hooks himself. Cannot make that stuff up. That's my favorite fish story. And probably I have a couple great stories about my grandfather. That's my favorite one. I've actually wanted to do like a fish story podcast where I just have people call up and they tell like a quick little fish story and like summarize it, and then I have them on for like, a full show. Yep, and you should have seen the look on both of our faces. He's like, I told you so. I don't need to put my, my lure in the water. And I was just like, you got to be shitting me. Don't like to fish for? Fish that I don't like to fish for. Not really. There's fish that I've like. How do I word it? There's fish that have religiously whooped my butt, like walleye. Like I put a lot of trips into catching walleye or trying to catch walleye. And I'll catch like maybe, I don't think I caught any last year, one a year. And that's it. Sometimes I'll go up to the Connecticut River system like 5 times in the spring and not catch a single one. But no, I like all species of fish. Bass. So I used to be a bass fisherman. I've gone to Alaska and caught all different types of Pacific salmon. I like all the trout species. Obviously, char species, actual trout species like browns and rainbows. So funny story. First time I was ever hooked was on New Year's. Ever. And I was going to physical therapy for my leg, for my hernia area, as I call it. I was having some issues with it. I was just basically sitting on the couch for too much because I had a newborn and was doing that for 2 months. And my PT guy knows what I do. And he's like, hey, have you ever been hooked before? And I'm like, no, and I don't want to be. He's like, oh, that's crazy. I'm like, well, now that you said something, I'm probably going to get hooked. And actually, in my New Year's video, you can see it. But I actually had one of these little luckily tiny hooks go through my thumb or my pointer finger and bury itself past the barb. That's what I consider hook. If it's past the barb, it's hooked. If it's just the hook point, doesn't count. And I do it all the time. Yeah, we don't have walleye. Our waters aren't conducive to walleye at all. So we don't have any good areas for them to spawn. So it would be extremely expensive to get them to spawn here in New Hampshire. The only place we got is the Connecticut River system, and that's shared with Vermont. Which I didn't realize that New Hampshire is the one that controls the whole river system. I thought we shared it with Vermont, but we own the whole thing. We own the whole darn thing. But I just got invited to go, well, I got invited last week to go walleye ice fishing. And of course, with my cousin John, every time him and I go walleye fishing, which is usually once or twice a year, we get skunked. And so I wasn't about to waste gas money on that this year. And of course, he just went and he just released a video tonight catching walleye. Because I know a lot of my Michigan folks are walleye lovers too, and I just don't have the area around here to catch them. Catch them. Yeah, so John finally, he says, "Oh, I wasn't guided." I'm like, "Oh, somebody dragged you out there with another snow dog to your spot, showed you where to go. That's guiding. Now, whether you're paying for it or not." All right, so this is gonna be a big bag. So 2 tungstens, 3.75 inch glow tubes, 3.75 inch chartreuse glow tubes, pack of chartreuse glow tubes, wing tubes, glide tubes, 3-inch swim baits, 2 packs of 3/8 ounce tube jigs, or what do you want to call it? And then a pack of actual tube jigs, 3/4 ounce. And I already printed the label on this one. Yeah, if we had 30-inch walleye around here, I'm telling you, or a better, like if our Connecticut River system actually froze for walleye, I wouldn't be opposed to doing half walleye and half lake trout. But I could get Splake to bite the other day. Oh, nice. Yeah, we don't have Splake in our state. We have Splake next to it. Just moved in that. So this was. I only had 3 orders in Maine here. Awesome. Got 32-inch walleye. That's huge. Oh, yeah. So I've actually caught some Millinocket. I've actually caught some Splake in Maine. I have one video about Splake in Big Brookies, and that video did not do well. We got a big bait kit. So, what live scope do you recommend? I recommend live scope LVS 34. As far as the screen goes, I suggest get the biggest and most expensive one you can afford. So yeah, LiveScope Plus is the best on the market. It is. If it was cost effective for me to buy them and rent them to people, I would. And I probably should have this year because I have 2 of them basically. I have 2 shuttles. So my plan was to do some more ice guiding this year, and I haven't really promoting the ice guiding stuff, so it hasn't really done that well. And the 2 trips that I do have scheduled have been both canceled because of weather. Supposed to be going today, and it's blowing a gazillion miles an hour. Garmin Castable versus Garmin. I would do Striker 4. The Castable's nice for like, the only nice thing about the Castable is that it's castable, and then it's microscopic, like it's tiny, it's the size of a tennis ball. That's the only good things. Just got another order. I don't know if you're on this call, but thank you. I'm officially out of those. That sucks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, so if you want to get into the Garmin ecosystem, if you want to call it that, that's what I call it. You need to think about what you're going to do with it in the future. So I bought the 93 SV, which is the cheapest one you can run LiveScope on, 9-inch. It's very granular looking because it's like a cheaper screen. If you want to use it for other things like I do, get as big a screen as you can. It'll save your back, it'll save your neck, save your eyesight from looking at little pixels. If you're going for just so problem with I use LiveScope for, I'm looking for fish down 100 feet deep that are 18 inches long sometimes, or 30 inches long. I'm looking for small fish down deep, so I'm looking at a couple pixels, so it's really hard to see. If you're looking for bass and stuff, then you really don't need anything crazy fancy because you're fishing theoretically under 50 feet most of the time. But I do like my little Garmin Castable. And my printer timed out again, so I don't know why it's doing that. But it's effing frustrating. Yeah, I know there's a printer area. Restart. And I wish I could I wish I had a discount code for Garmin and like a commission from them, because I have sold a metric crap ton of LiveScopes to people. Garmin should be paying me at this point. Because besides like me and Milliken, Jay Siemens, Clayton, like we religiously show our LiveScope footage. I know Jay is working with Garmin. Clay has Garmin, but I don't know if Clayton has Garmin. But I don't know if he's working with Garmin. See, I shut off my computer and the label printed. Makes no sense. Yeah, Cast and Conquer does. I've watched a couple of the videos when they get linked to somebody, like one of the other channels. And I actually have been sharing, so my Sebago video I wasn't sharing live scope because, I mean, it was a couple pixels down all the way. I can't watch Mindak. I can't watch their stuff. I've tried so many times. They're not my thing. I don't watch hunting stuff. I just can't. I can't watch their stuff. That's one of the channels that like doesn't make any sense to me. I know they've been doing it for they've been grinding for a long time. Last I saw, they're not growing that fast, but I guess that really doesn't matter. Another Winnie kit. All right, I'm so glad I'm not the only one that finds Mindak hard to watch. And nothing against the guys. I do like a couple of their videos. But watching YouTube for me is hard to watch to begin with. Like I do YouTube, so it's like, why would I want to watch something when I can go do it myself most of the time? Like, I was super excited that they went to Alaska and fished for Lakers. And it was a super boring video. Like, I watched the Fishing Geeks, that's for sure. Their stuff is getting better. Sounds like the wind is picking back up. Yeah. I'm gonna have to make Saskatchewan. Yeah, that's one place I haven't been to. So I fished in Quebec. I've been to Prince Edward Island, Nova Scotia. I fished in Quebec. I fished in Alberta, and I fished in British Columbia, and I fished in the Yukon. But I don't think I fished in Saskatchewan. Maybe I did. I'd have to go back and look at my licenses. 24, 28, that's great. We have species that they say that we have, but we don't have them anymore. They're like dang near, well, they are extinct, right? We used to have Arctic char in New Hampshire, sunapee trout, and they're extinct now. So I caught them in Maine, but not New Hampshire. And I've definitely never been to the Northwest Territories or Nunavut. or Labrador. For sure. We have Lake Char. That's awesome. A goal of mine would be to catch all of the char species. Char family. I've actually fished for bull trout before, but did not catch one in Alberta. They look like they're pretty fun through the ice too. They act just like Lakers, obviously. Just caught a pike yesterday. Oh, man, falls. Idle. I got one. Well, that's crazy. Fly fishing, tiny nymph. It's amazing how many big fish get caught on small baits compared to how many big fish get caught on big baits. My biggest New Hampshire laker got caught on a little tiny tungsten. They'll eat it. Same with my buddy's 31-inch laker in New Hampshire got caught on a little tiny 2-inch bait. They eat 2-inch stuff. That's all they got to eat then. Come on, you piece of crap. Oh. We're almost done, guys. No walleye, no splake, no char, no muskie. Sad. We have walleye in the Connecticut River. That's about it. We have one river that they're in. Actually, there's two rivers. There's the Tukey River that apparently they're in. I've not caught one out of there yet. Have not fished it. And apparently the Connecticut River. Or I've caught them out of the Connecticut River, so. Yeah, Maine has some huge splake. So New Hampshire used to stock splake and then probably realized it was too expensive and then stopped stocking them. But there's a lake that I want to try that I actually grew up fishing for bass. And the chance for a splake to be in there still is 0%. And the reason I say that is because lake trout can live to like 60, 70. Splake can only live to like 20 probably. And they stopped stocking them way before 20 years ago. It is worth targeting cuss during their spawns. Actually, it's one of the best times to target them. If you can, the problem with targeting cuss during the spawn is they are all in one spot. If you're not, well, most of them are all in one spot. or a couple of spots. If you're not in that spot, you're not going to catch any. Does that make sense? Right? It's like, yeah, you know, normally during the wintertime, they're in 30% of the water. Now they're in 5% of the water, if I was to guess. That being said, there's very little known about cusk. Like, nobody wants to research them. Nobody does the research on them at all. They spawn under the ice, and they spend most of their time hibernating during the summertime. So there's only a short season, and actually doing any research on them under the ice is very expensive. Huge trouts, because no one problem stocks random lakes with no road access. Yeah, we stock a bunch of our lakes with small trout that have no road access. We stock them with helicopters. We used to stock them with airplanes, but dropping them from 100, 200 feet is, they don't survive that well, apparently. Come on, printer. It's trying, guys. It's trying. I got like 2 more orders left. Then I can go in and go to bed. Oh, probably. Yeah, I don't know how they make it cost effective to stock with a helicopter, because it's just insane, but they do. Come on, printer. Yeah, a lot of our thanks. I'm just wearing a hoodie because it's 27 degrees out there, Fahrenheit. Otherwise, I'm freezing cold. Ready. Yeah, we also hike into other small ponds with backpacks with aerators and a bubbler, like a bubbler in the back, like a little bucket aerator. And they stock in fingerlings. All right, this one's not. I'm so flipping frustrated with this stupid printer. Yeah, I know it couldn't print. I know it can't print. That's why we're restarting things. Start, restart. Yeah, we have a lot of high elevation lakes. Like our highest one's at like 3,500 feet, which I know doesn't sound a lot for people that live out in like Montana and stuff. But yeah, some of our lakes are really, really high up that they stock. It's either with a helicopter. I'm gonna smash this printer. Like, if I knew, I have 2 more orders left. That's all I want to get out. That's all I can get out. That's all I have for orders right now. I had like 24 orders open. Thank you. This is a garage. It looks like a barn, but it's a garage. See, it makes no flipping sense. I restart my computer and the effing label prints off. And I don't think the printer's cold, because that doesn't make any sense. It's driving me flipping nuts. All right, this guy got 3 packs of Super Glow. I might have missed it, but when is your nice video? You're going live. I am probably update your printer driver. This doesn't have a printer driver. I've tried to update it. I've tried everything. For some reason, it's just dropping. And I thought I had fixed it by plugging it in, but refurbish store, app load. Download Windows driver. Right, desk. Oh, come on. Desktop. But I plan on ice fishing on Wednesday. I haven't decided where yet. But my plan is to go live, for sure. I know it's way more fun than watching me sit here pack orders, but. Oh, you guys want another sight fishing video? My plan is to successfully sight fish a laker, which is my plan on Wednesday, but I'm hearing that where I want to go is an absolute nightmare right now, slush-wise. And where I want to go on that particular lake requires a snow dog. Getting the snow dog stuck in the slush is awful because it doesn't have enough power to get itself out. I'm 90% of the time I go alone, so I can film a better video for you guys. All the videos that you see me like with a random person or like Ryan in the video, well, sometimes those do well, but most of the time it's, especially with the new persons, to go, hey, buddy, take me out fishing. It turns into me guiding and not talking to you guys on the camera. How is the 62? So, I don't know how much you know about sonars, but the LVS 62 is 800 kilohertz, and the LVS 34 is 1200 kilohertz. So there's a lot more detail in the LVS 34, which is great down to 100 feet. It's good from 0 feet down to 120 feet. The LVS 62 is only good from like 50 feet down to like 180-ish. It's got finer or less detail, and everything looks a little bit bigger. It's got like just bigger pixels. If you were strictly just going for lake trout in a lake that's always deep, I would buy the 62. If you want to do a little bit of everything, I would buy the 34 and use the 34 to find the lake trout, and then use 2D to track your jig. If you got big lake trout, you're probably fine with the 34 down deeper. This summer, I will do a comparison video between the two because I'll have one unit with both of them on there. Finally. 2 1-ounce jigs. And the LVS 62 is very expensive. Like just the sonar is $2,500, and it's never gone on sale since its inception. But it's really nice. And it doesn't fit through an 8-inch hole. Mind you, I learned that. So I had to drill a pair of holes and then a third hole to jig through. Tonight will not be very nice. I fish Superior and have the 32 in the range I'm looking for. So the guy that I went with on Lake Superior, he exclusively used the 62. He used 2 of them, one facing out, one facing forward. So he covered, 40 degrees out of the 360 on the boat, which worked really well for him. And he was fishing anywhere from dirt shallow to under 200 feet for most of his trips, he said. We were fishing fairly shallow, for 50 feet and under for our bigger fish. But yeah, if you're fishing religiously over 70 feet and you're using smaller jigs, I would go for the 62. I'm going to see if this thing recognizes this now. All right, trying to need more cowbell. Oh man, this printer's gonna kill me. Still dealing with the printer, guys. I'm gonna smash it. I know it's just some sort of technical error with the system fighting with the system, and I'm gonna try my other laptop. Just not tonight. Still trying. All right, I just set the printer up to be wired. Hopefully. Now it did print, but it was saying everything was in metric, and it still printed off to be the right flipping size. So that's all that really matters. All right, my last order, guys. Last order, which is going to take about a couple minutes, and then I'm going to bed. So I can stop standing over this Mr. Buddy heater. Yeah, so depending on where I go on Wednesday, I'll be going live. The lake that I want to go to, which I probably won't go to because of the slush, does not have cell phone service. But the other two I want to go to do. So, and I like going live, especially when I'm fishing. It does really well. And I don't have to edit. Well, I still have to edit because usually I'm filming a video first and then I go live. All right, last package going in right now, guys. Going right in. All right, there we go, folks. Thank you very much for tuning in. I know it's late. Most of us got to work tomorrow, including me. I will see you guys on the next live, which hopefully will be in a couple days. Gotta go. Bye.